Thank you for joining me as we bring you the powerful stories of 3 young people who survived devastating illness and injury only to be put into nursing homes, sometimes for years, as there were no facilities for people their own age. With sheer determination and incredible family support, they were able to take control of their lives while also raising awareness for thousands of others in the same situation.
Yeah! I've had a very good night and love you, Mike.
Remember that in 3 years' time.
That's
all right?
Thank you.
That was pretty devastating to have to look for a nursing home for a 19-year-old daughter. You know, we're not talking about my 70-year-old mother, but a 19-year-old. It just didn't make sense at all.
I felt like I was a person in a foreign country, put in a foreign country not of my choice.
I ran out of that nursing home knowing that we were on our own.
Yeah.
And I would do the same thing next time.
If you want a young person to be the best they can be, they won't get there being with the aged and the dying. So if you're going to come back from the brink, it won't be there.
In Australia today, around 7,000 young people live in nursing homes. These are just 3 of their stories. Michelle Newland is 33 and lives with her parents in Melbourne. Her morning routine is the same every day, doing the same task in the same order.
How you going, Michelle?
Oh, it's okay.
All done?
I think I'm ready for my makeup now.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Her carer and friend Cindy is on hand for support.
Yes. Okay, so we'll put a little bit of foundation on.
Michelle has acute memory loss.
Excellent.
Because she can't recall what happened 5 minutes ago,
Fantastic, Michelle.
this makes simple everyday tasks challenging.
For example, if I have my breakfast, I haven't had it yet, I'll have to check in the sink, see if there's a bowl there or whether I've had my breakfast or not, because I can't tell.
On a good day, Michelle will be able to remember something from a number of hours ago, and on a not so great day, she might not be able to remember something that happened 5 minutes ago. So it's very varied.
I might go with the dress.
Okay, fantastic. The dress, good choice. You look stunning in this dress.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
I can't remember ever wearing that before.
Really?
No.
Oh, this is one of our favourites
Is
for
it?
public
Yeah.
speaking.
Can you remember what you loved doing as a little girl? You know, when you used to dress up,
That's all I could do.
you always loved to be a little lady. Can you remember how you'd pinch my shoes, my high heels?
Of course, the high heel shoes, I love them.
Can you believe you're wearing heels, Michelle?
I cannot believe it's in. It's quite amazing. All right.
Excellent.
Let's go for it, everybody.
3 days after her 19th birthday, Michelle's life changed in an instant.
The night before the injury, we were at a party. We were at a baptism party. Everything was fine. You were happy, and everything was just normal. About 4 o'clock in the morning, you turned the lights on and leaned against the doorway and said, "Take me to the hospital." But by the time I got into your room, Michelle, you were having a seizure.
Michelle was having a severe asthma attack.
You were gone. She was gone. She was in my arms and you were gone. And he, we got to the hospital, and I remember just begging God to not let you go. Michelle, we believe you had no oxygen to the brain for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and you had no pulse and no heartbeat on arrival.
All right.
Doctors found a faint pulse and worked to revive her.
Michelle had lost brain cells right round globally, so it wasn't just in one area. A lot of cells were damaged right round. When doctors were saying it's a brain injury, and we didn't know what that would mean. And I remember one beautiful doctor saying, "You will have a different Michelle."
Just 1, 2, 3.
At a Catholic school retreat in rural Victoria, Michelle is guest speaker to an audience of teenage girls.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real privilege to be here with you today. I've been asked to share my story with you about my journey of recovery over the past 13 years.
Good.
Girls, collect your books and move to that side of the room and leave a corridor down the wall side, please. No, I just got my enter.
And Shell,
Yeah, I know, but I might wait until tomorrow.
Shell, can you tell me how
Hang on
much?
a sec.
Can you just tell me how much you
My
got,
mum's
darling?
got the video. Oh my god, 94.5.
And are you happy with that?
Yes, I'm happy. Now I'm talking to Chantal. Yeah, go on, Chantal.
You're walking by yourself. You're walking by yourself. That is amazing, Shell.
You ran away from me. Eh?
Can you blow me another kiss? Because I'm focused right on you. Got it.
That's pretty.
So there you have it. 13 years all summed up in 20 minutes. Not bad, eh?
Okay, so we're ready for question time, Michelle?
This one's for Anne. What was it like to have to put your daughter into a nursing home so early in her life?
It was really shocking to put Michelle into a nursing home.
Anne and her husband Vic were told that Michelle was costing the system too much. She had to leave rehab.
I couldn't understand that nursing home was the next stage. It just didn't make sense at all. There were older people in them, and they're there at the end of their lives and, preparing for death perhaps. And it wasn't suitable for Michelle because even there was no rehab. Michelle spent a lot of time in bed. I know you didn't like it, I know, and that was really difficult. It was difficult leaving you there every night and saying good night, and it was awful. I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
In rehab, Michelle had relearned how to walk. After moving into the nursing home, she forgot everything.
You didn't improve one single bit for 16 months. You actually regressed.
Because I would have seen everyone else around me in wheelchairs.
Your brain told you
That's it. I couldn't walk.
You know, it was really bizarre. Michelle's brain told her that she couldn't walk. And I said, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Get off that. Get out of bed. Yes, you can, you know.
Do you remember much of your life before the attack?
I don't think so.
Can we play a game? Are you up for it?
Why not?
Okay. Let's see. Who was your prep teacher?
Carolyn Grinter.
Correct. Who was your Year 12 English teacher?
Andrew Luscombe.
Absolutely. Do you remember which school you attended?
Resurrection Primary School.
Fantastic. So as you can see...
I can remember I always wanted to be a teacher. Yeah.
How old are you?
You are a teacher. You're teaching me. You're teaching many people. You're teaching, you know, how to move on with life and how to live for the moment and how to be strong and, you know, be courageous and laugh at yourself.
Any parting words, Michelle?
Never give up, girls. Keep your dreams alive.
Excellent. Well done.
Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved. For you are my praise. This bed is my life. I eat in here, I sleep in here, I paint in here. People come to see me in here, carers work with me in here, and outside all of that, my darling husband has 30 centimetres of the bed. We have an ongoing joke about this because my life is also surrounded by pillows.
Okay, you right to go?
Yes, Mickey.
Vicky lives in Shepparton, Victoria, with her husband Michael.
You're right there, Vic.
She is completely immobilised, and it takes two people to lift her safely out of bed in the morning.
My neck is such that I'm unable to keep it upright like an average person. Could you hold my head up, please, for me, Beck?
Yep.
Oh, that's better.
Thanks. And I have these cushions around me so that I don't roll out because I can't keep my balance on either side.
Downscope there.
Michael's really fantastic at moving me. He is a gentle man, but he's also very firm.
How's that, dear?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good?
Before coming to live with Michael, Vicky spent time in a nursing home.
I had no idea that a young person could be put in a nursing home. I couldn't believe that that's what my life had really become, a nursing home room.
Vicky is an identical twin. Always a powerhouse, she married and had two daughters while juggling a highly demanding corporate career.
I walked 5 to 7 Ks, power walked every morning. And then when I came home from work, I would walk again. So I was very active.
So you think you did all right with the Mother's Day presents, do
Well, you
you?
can't remember any bad ones, so...
No, so you're going to...
I'm taking that as a good sign.
Does this mean that this year is going to be the exception?
These days, Vicky still goes out with her grown-up daughters and grandchild, but it's a very different life now. 12 years ago, a workplace accident left her with chronic muscle weakness. After the breakdown of her marriage, Vicky met Michael at church. She was already in a wheelchair.
We had instant love that was beyond anything I've ever experienced in my life. And our commonality was faith, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
A year into their relationship, Vicky's mother and sister became ill and were unable to look after her. She couldn't ask Michael to take on the role of carer.
I wasn't in that place in our relationship to have even asked. How could I ask then a man on his own to look after me? That wasn't an option.
Vicky had to go into a nursing home. She spent the next 4 years there.
You visited me every day,
I
bar a
did.
couple of days of every day I was in the nursing home.
Yes.
Mike would come up after work and spend half the night with me until he would get kicked out, or Michael would stay.
To make life in the nursing home bearable, Vicky started painting. And she found the perfect medium, nail polish.
I could put the lid back on the bottle. It wasn't too heavy. It didn't spill in bed. And that's how it started.
When a series of confronting incidents occurred in the nursing home, Vicky used her art to vent.
I just decided, that's it. I've got to draw this, express this, and if I don't, I'm going to go balmy. And so that's what I did.
The drawings told of Vicky's daily frustrations about living in the nursing home.
Probably quite dark to people what was going on, but I turned it into something that was more humorous. Even today when I look back at it, I go, wow. Even for myself, I feel, well, that was really a bold thing to do. I know it happens in other nursing homes.
After 2 years in the nursing home, Vicky and Michael got married. The next day, Vicky had to go back to the nursing home. But Michael had other ideas.
Michael said, come for the day, for the night. He said, I've rigged up a ramp for you. Totally OH&S, not right.
Not approved.
Not approved, and it was very precarious. And I got to the front door when I was coming out that day, and they said, oh, you're going out for a few hours. And in myself, I'm going, no. And I felt free. I just walked out of there and I ran away from there. I was a naughty preppy, leaving the classroom, and I loved it. But you're saying to me, my darling man's saying to me, Vicky, you can stay here, we can do it. We can do it. Like, we can do it. If we can make a ramp, we can do anything. And I have not. It's the start of the rest of my life, leaving there. Thank you for helping me, Michael.
That's okay, dear.
You going to work now?
I'm going to work. I'm off to work.
Alrighty, thanks, darling. Have
Bye.
a good day.
See ya.
Always happy-go-lucky. Life was never really taken seriously. He was always making people laugh, just not deliberately, but he was always in it for a laugh. Yes.
Ask Mum my birthday.
Yes, they know your birthday.
Do you know my birthday?
1st of April.
Work that one out.
But if Warren and Aaron believed that if you weren't having fun, you weren't learning. So they believed school was just there for...
Overrated.
They believed that, yes, you needed to enjoy school and love every moment of it.
And we did.
I know you did. So...
And you paid for it.
I don't even go there.
4, 5, 6.
Laughter is in this family's DNA.
Nobody gonna clap?
No, Nan, you're there by yourself.
Mine was a three letters and I got over.
We don't want to replay, Mum. We saw it. It's great. Move forward.
How rude.
You're only as good as your last game, Nan.
A good, strong family is a good, strong foundation. And you can't be strong, you can't build a good building if it's got a very bad foundation.
Aaron's family has been through a lot. 6 years ago, at 28, he was hit by a train.
When people have a major trauma or something, very few people can remember it, and I have no memory of it. I know I was hit by a train, but I have no memory. I do remember having an arm, and sometimes you think, where is it? But it's not, I know, mentally I know it's not. I wake up, go to bed with it not being on. It's just super good looks now. I'll cover its head. It doesn't do a lot. You're smart.
Just came to me.
And good looking.
Yeah.
What don't you?
You're not wearing any glasses at the moment.
Aaron spent a year in hospital in Sydney. He was diagnosed with an acquired brain injury that left him partially paralysed and unable to communicate.
As soon as this happened to Aaron, I had trouble leaving the hospital. There was times when he was in Sydney that I'd actually hidden under the bed. I read to him, I took him outside, we took his dog there, prayed, sung. Everything that was part of this world, he had to come back in contact with. Because his injuries were so serious, the doctors all said that basically what he was what he was going to be. They don't come back unless you spend 24/7.
Once the allocated time in rehab was up, the next stage for Aaron was a nursing home.
When he was in Sydney, he asked his brother and sister to take his life because he couldn't do that.
Did I?
Yeah. Just listen to this.
Oh, I don't want
He
to hear
asked his brother and sister to take his life because he couldn't do that, because he wasn't coping being in a wheelchair, and he knew that nursing home, he'd left his job, he didn't have a job anymore. Everything that he knew was his had gone. That was a very difficult situation. I really felt the whole time that I was doing something very cruel for my own son to put him in a nursing home, because I wouldn't even put myself in one. Okay, it's been a long time since we've walked through these doors, Aaron.
Aaron lived in this nursing home for 7 years. He's come back to visit old friends.
I made the best of a bad situation. It was not the best thing, but it was my life, and I was big enough to take it. It was hard, it really was hard. I'm happy with old people, that doesn't faze me. But it's just, what did I have in common with them? Not a lot. We breed there, but you need more than that. Bingo is not a way of life for me. But freaking corned beef sandwiches, I ate them every night, and I can't even eat corned beef again. I like corned beef, but it was pathetic. And just the mashed potato, they eat with a straw, I didn't eat it. That's not living. Potato slurpee is not great.
Aaron used to talk to me about his life, how come he's here, and I'd always say to him, Aaron, you're here for healing. It's a beautiful place to heal.
Karen and her husband Bill became their son's biggest advocate. They wrote letters to ministers about the plight of young people in nursing homes.
Whatever it would take to make Aaron to be the best he could. As a mum, that's all I ever wanted.
After 7 years of lobbying, they were told that a group home was being built and that Aaron was on the list. 2 years ago, Aaron moved into this purpose-built villa. It's a new approach to independent living for young people who were previously placed in nursing homes.
I'm living in somewhere amazing. To have someone more my age to talk to have a bit of a chat, is 10 times better.
Thank you, Lord, for this good food, and bless it to our bodies and keep us. Thank you, Lord, for the fellowship of each other this night, Lord, and bless us, Lord, this night.
For Vicky, living with Michael has added to her family with the addition of his children and grandchildren.
Being at Michael's house, the family meets every second Thursday, all year round, with the whole idea of coming together as a family. We take for granted being able to sit at a table and have a nice meal and talk. And in the nursing home, That was the one thing I pined for, and now it's come back again.
Oh my Lord.
Michelle's living arrangements are about to change again. Last year, Anne and Vic bought the house next door. The plan is for Michelle to live independently, but still be close by.
So, Shell, you're going to have, this bathroom's going to be set up for you. In front of the shower, you're going to have a full-length mirror. So you can see how you're washing your hair.
Of course.
You can see what needs to be done.
The house is being renovated by an army of generous volunteers.
It has to be a slow transition. So we won't just put you in there and say, go for it. It just, we're going to support you with everything. This is where your dining table will be.
Ooh.
Your extended dining table. It'll be so lovely, Shell.
How brilliant
You
will
can have
that be?
dinner parties, and Dad can help serve. What do you reckon?
He can be my butler.
He's the butler, that's right. He can be the butler. If you could live independently and, have carers to support you, I'm thinking 5, 6, 10 years down the track, how good might it look?
Oh, it's nice to see.
We have places for our seniors and we have places for children, small children. There's nothing in between. We desperately need that. We need a place where if an injury occurs to a young person, they're cared for, but they have the rehab that they need and not thrown into a nursing home. And we've still got a lot of work ahead of us.
We do. But I'm up for it.
I know, you're always up for it. It's good.
Next on Compass.
Seems like the hurdles are coming like that. I think music has a very strong power, and it's just understanding its capacity and knowing when to use it and how to use it. Get me out of here!
Musical healing. That's next week on Compass.